As the raids for Shadow Mewtwo roll out, you can see 54,000 CP right there. There's gonna be pretty much a full lobby here on this particular raid, so I am just giving this a commentary in post-production, if you want to call it that. And of course, this is just so I can advise people, tell you what my experience was like. Again, it's gonna be skewed because of that full lobby, and this is the thing, is that we have 19 people in this lobby, so one dropped out. But anyway, the point I was gonna bring up is just that this will likely be troublesome if you don't have like your 4 trainers. Maybe they would have to be like decently good. Really, I'm gonna hope that you have more than that. It's just I'm kind of going based off of PokeBattler for one thing. You know, if you go to PokeBattler.com, you can see, of course, their raid just best counters and all that stuff. But they also give a raid predictor right there, so maybe we can put that on screen. Notice that the option came up pretty fast for us to do the Purified Gem down in the bottom left. I did throw mine, but then look, I got that kind of glitch or whatever, that thing that's like, well, I still have 2 Purified Gems to throw right there. And yes, I only started with 2 Purified Gems, you guys. I do my own version of protest, if you want to call it that. Like, I don't just, I have not been logging into the game that much. I don't really play things, except for I host Patreon raids, and I certainly don't put my money into this, you know, and some people are like, what about location data and stuff like that? Yes, like, I mean, everything tracks us in this day and age, so I agree. Yeah, I don't want to give them that, but where it comes down to like helping you guys, you know, if we can give you some content or if we can give you the Patreon raids, I will do those things. But you can see that Giovanni is actually going to take on, because we have the Shadow Mewtwo, it's defeated. We got Giovanni up in here. So if it wasn't clear, of course, Giovanni is sort of the leader of this gym and stuff, just like there were grunts for the other eggs. Well, maybe obvious touch they were going to give to this. So here we go. We've got a decent amount of these Premier Balls. You can switch it to the Master Ball. I could show that if you want, but essentially, that's not going to be required. You know what I mean? Now, I would have liked to get a shiny to see if we could kind of like confirm. Is it just immediate catch? You know, like most legendary raids, right? You just throw the pineapple and try to catch it. But yeah, there was the Master Ball. And so one thing I want to advise is I was not actually so certain that this was going to happen, but I gave it a few throws before really being more disciplined with it, I would say, is that this thing's going to be pretty salty. Like, you see that he's just going to absolutely jump around, do that battle cry pretty often. So I think, throw away a number of balls. Like, look at that one. So maybe be a little bit more disciplined if you're worried about it. I mean, I eventually catch it. Sorry, spoiler alert, but I'm just saying, here's what you start doing is like, okay, well, I was like, hey, these are just great throws. Let's make them excellent. You can usually get a pretty easy excellent target on this Mewtwo. Just aim for the head right between the eyes. But here's what you want to do. Hold down the ball. A lot of you guys have seen this. We call it the circle method, right? And some people may have other names for it, but you just hold it down and then don't actually throw. Just wait for the circle to get really small. So here we go. We're going to demonstrate that again after we do one of these silver pineapples. Would be nice, right? So let's go ahead, hold it down. So look at that. You can see that the ball, we didn't throw it or anything like that, and then we let go once the circle was really small. Then you wait for him to do his actual battle cry attack thing. So once he kind of swipes at you like that, that's when you're making the throw, and you're aiming to release that throw. Again, with the curveball, excellent. You can see it several times here as we do end up catching it probably after about 3 or 4 of these. And so right there, we waited for that battle cry, boom. And so once it does that, you saw that I released it towards the end, and look at this, here we go. So yeah, probably, what was that, about 3 of those circle method, and we got it. So again, that's gonna be a little bit quicker, a little bit better for you. Yes, sorry, that was my first catch of the day. Get off screen. Okay, there we go. So the appraisal, 2-star. I think you guys know it ain't no 10, 10, 10 IV floor. I think a lot of people's reports on other Shadow raids were 6 and 6 and 6, and so that is still going to be in place. I hope you guys catch it. I hope you get a shiny. I hope it goes as best as possible for you, but certainly if you are protesting it, I still stand with you too. I'll catch you on the next vid, and thanks for viewing.